Let me tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes, love boxing.
Who gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up. The biggest
Crawford.
fight in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo.
Come on, yeah, get it, 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 yeah, get it. Come on, yeah, move out the way, yeah, move out the way, yeah, move out the way.
It's not often that Stephen A. Smith sounds calm when dropping a bombshell. But when he appeared on Andre Ward's All the Smoke Fight podcast, that's exactly what he did. Without theatrics, without shouting, he looked straight into the camera and delivered a prediction that sent shockwaves through the boxing world.
Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo.
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. Now let's be clear, Stephen A. isn't just a casual boxing fan. He's covered legendary fighters for decades. He's been ringside for Mayweather, Pacquiao, Tyson, and now Crawford. His opinion carries weight in both mainstream media and boxing circles. What made this moment so unexpected wasn't just the prediction itself, but how he explained it.
You can outpoint him.
That's right.
When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud.
Right.
It's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
Smith acknowledged what fans and fighters have said for years. Canelo Alvarez is nearly impossible to knock out. His chin is iron. His toughness is legendary. But Stephen A. pointed out something critical that many overlook. If you can box and you can move, you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, stronger fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's gonna go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight.
Smith highlighted Crawford's masterful footwork, his ability to switch stances mid-round, and the way he controls distance like it's second nature. But then came the real jab, the critique that cut deeper than any punch. Smith said Canelo's obsession with power could be his downfall. That every shot Canelo throws, heavy, loaded, punishing, is also predictable. And that style, he argued, is tailor-made for someone like Crawford, who thrives on precision, timing, and exploiting openings. It's like every shot has to be a power shot. That's not beating Crawford.
And Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready. He's always ready.
Always prepared.
He's always ready. He's always
that.
prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster.
But just when you think Stephen A. has fully chosen a side, he adds a note of caution. Canelo is the naturally bigger, stronger fighter, and that matters. Smith echoed concerns from Gervonta Davis's trainer, warning that if Crawford gets drawn into a brawl instead of a boxing match, the physical difference could become painfully obvious. I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at that weight. Crawford is not. It's a rare moment where Stephen A. shows nuance, belief in Crawford's brilliance, but also respect for the risks. And as the world gears up for September 13th, his take has only added fuel to an already burning fire. Then came the footage. No press release, no cinematic promo, just a raw, unfiltered training clip of Terence "Bud" Crawford. And it sent fight fans into a frenzy. In the video, Crawford isn't just working out. He's moving like a man possessed. Quick, sharp pivots, perfectly timed slips, explosive combinations off angles that most fighters wouldn't even think to throw from. It wasn't a fighter preparing. It was a technician sharpening his masterpiece. The boxing community couldn't believe what they were seeing. Some called it the cleanest training footage they'd ever seen. Others compared it to Mike Tyson's viral comeback clips, when he hit the pads at age 53 and the world stopped for a second. But with Crawford, it wasn't brute force that stood out. It was control. He looked faster than ever, despite moving up to super middleweight. He looked locked in. No wasted movement, no hesitation. And most importantly, he looked dangerous.
Yeah, move out the way. Yeah. What you got? Yeah, 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 what you got? Yeah.
Some fans claimed it was the best he's ever looked, even better than before he dismantled Errol Spence. Analysts took note. Comment sections exploded. And suddenly, Stephen A. Smith's prediction didn't sound so outrageous after all. But not everyone was convinced, because as good as Crawford looked on camera, some people saw a much bigger problem looming behind the speed.
When you have two great fighters, great things can happen. But I could see even Crawford getting knocked out like Amir Khan style though.
Do you give Terence Crawford any chance to beat Canelo?
I don't see it happening.
Former Canelo sparring partner Garcia was the first to sound the alarm. And he didn't mince words. He said plain and simple, Crawford might get knocked out, Amir Khan style. Garcia's been in the gym with Canelo. He knows the power behind those compact punches. And with Crawford moving up 3 weight classes, this would be the first time in a long time that Canelo is the naturally bigger man in the ring. No catch weights, no weight drains, just raw power and a point to prove.
But he could definitely prove me wrong. But I just think, bro, like, I mean, I've trained with Canelo, I've been around him. Bro can really push back heavyweight. So I don't know how he's, like, because this is the first time Canelo's actually bigger than somebody in a long time. So it's like the weights are lifted off and now he could fight even more freely, you know?
I've trained with Canelo. Bro can push back heavyweights. This is the first time in a while he gets to fight like that again. But the criticism didn't stop with size.
Man, when you talking about these big fights, you whispering. You you said Canelo and Crawford.
Yeah.
Man, come on, man, that's the biggest fight, you know what I mean, in boxing right now. Canelo and Crawford. Crawford stepping up. Man, it's so big, you got Muhammad over there saying something about it. That's how big it is.
Bill Haney, father and trainer of undisputed champion Devin Haney, went even deeper, pointing not just to weight, but to potential foul play. In an interview with pro boxing fans, he warned that Crawford should be prepared for more than just boxing. He alluded to the doping controversies that have circled Canelo's camp over the years, particularly involving his longtime trainer Eddie Reynoso. Does Crawford have to be worried about more things than just boxing? Absolutely.
He came off the bench from the 60s, right, Muhammad? You go back in the 60s? Yeah, well, listen,
60 years of boxing.
Canelo is big. And shout out to Crawford stepping up. But does Crawford have to be worried about more things than just boxing? Absolutely.
Let's go.
I didn't say he has to do any accusing, nor we would do that, but I'm saying is, let's worry.
Haney stopped short of making direct accusations, but the implication was clear. With several fighters from Reynoso's camp testing positive in recent years, including a case just last month, concerns are growing that Crawford may not just be battling a bigger man, but a dirty game behind the scenes. He needs to be cautious, prepared, and at the very least, sign up for 365 testing. So now, The stakes go beyond legacy, beyond titles. Crawford is walking into hostile territory, and the doubters are louder than ever. But Crawford didn't take the bait. He didn't go on a rant. He didn't clap back with insults. Instead, he posted his Veda test results publicly. Cold, hard evidence that he's clean.
Hey, I slapped Steven so hard. Yeah, that look real. They here to test me for steroids.
Let's go. 1, 2. Damn, bud.
Then he addressed the real elephant in the room, weight. In a podcast with Dan Rafael, Crawford explained that this isn't just another camp. It's a rebuild. No crash dieting, no cutting muscle, just calculated evolution. Not having to cut muscle, not having to worry about making weight. We're reshaping the body. He didn't reveal if he'd come in at a full 168 or slightly under to maintain speed. Just that the team has time to make the right call. But what raised eyebrows even more was what he said about where the fight's happening. Netflix. In a world where pay-per-view is dying, Crawford sees streaming as boxing's future. This fight isn't just a bout, it's a platform shift. Millions will watch, many for free, and Crawford will be front and center. While critics talk about doping, weight, and knockouts, Crawford stays locked in, and the numbers speak for themselves. For months, a certain narrative was pushed hard by boxing cynics and salty YouTubers. No one cares about Crawford versus Canelo. They said the buzz wasn't there. They claimed Netflix was a gimmick. They called it a mismatch, a money grab, a nothing fight. Well, that narrative just got obliterated. According to official venue reports, over 52,000 tickets have already been sold for the September 13th fight at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. With 40 days still left before the event, only 2,713 seats remain. Let's put that into perspective. That's more tickets than most stadium concerts sell in total. Even the nosebleeds are going for over $650, and resale prices are climbing past $2,000. This isn't hype. This is demand. This is proof that fans are watching, and they're ready to show up.
Performance bonus that night is going to be over 6 figures. We're still talking about it. So, yeah, it's going to be a big number. Whoever wins the performance bonus of the night that night.
So the next time someone tells you no one's checking for this fight, you can just point to the numbers. Because the doubters talked, the haters speculated, but the people, they bought in. Before all the Canelo talk, before the stadium sellout and viral training footage, Terence "Bud" Crawford was already carving his name into boxing history, and his last performance may have been the most defining of them all. When he faced Errol Spence Jr., the boxing world expected a war. Both fighters were undefeated. Both had belts. Both were considered pound-for-pound elite. But what happened in that ring shocked even the harshest critics. Crawford didn't just win. He dismantled Spence. Round after round, he adjusted, pressured, countered, and picked apart a fighter many believed would be his equal. It was clinical. It was cold. It was a masterclass.
Terence "Bud" Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. for providing us an unbelievable night of boxing here in Las Vegas.
After the fight, when asked to rate Spence, Crawford didn't gloat. He didn't downplay the man he had just dominated. Instead, he gave him a 10 out of 10. Calling him a unified world champion who ran through the welterweight division and beat multiple former champions. That's the kind of humility that only comes from complete control and confidence. But not everyone was focused on what Spence didn't do. Some were paying attention to what Crawford did.
He's patient enough. He knows what he needs to do. But if he prepares for one thing, you come to the ring and do something different, that I know what it was that night. That night, he knew he had to impress. And he knew that, you know, if you know Terence's style, he's trying to line up that straight left, you know? And he got to a point where that became, I gotta have this firework at the end of the night. And that's what he was stuck on.
Former welterweight champion Shawn Porter, who fought both men, gave perhaps the most chilling insight into what makes Crawford so dangerous. Speed makes power, he said. Terence's power is like a whip. It's disguised by speed. You don't see it coming, but it hurts when it lands. That quote resonated with fighters and fans alike because Crawford doesn't rely on one-punch knockouts. His strength is in how he delivers the shots. Fast, precise, timed perfectly. A kind of violence that's silent until it's too late.
He won't make that kind of mistake against a Canelo Alvarez. And again, you know, coming to the ring, I don't think he expected Madrimov to have this counter-punching style that he came to the ring with, you know.
Now add this. 41 wins, 0 losses, 31 knockouts, world titles in 4 different weight divisions, undisputed champion in 2 separate weight classes. No one else in the sport has done that. Not even Canelo. This isn't just momentum. This is supremacy. A fighter at his peak with every tool in the box and a chip on his shoulder the size of a championship belt. And just when you thought Crawford's respect couldn't go any higher, a shocking compliment came from the last person you'd expect. During a recent feature with The Ring magazine, something unexpected happened. Canelo Alvarez, a man not known for flattery, looked back over the legendary fighters he's faced in his 65-fight career. Floyd Mayweather, Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, Dmitry Bivol, Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto, Erislandy Lara. The list goes on.
Felix Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Dmitry Bivol, Artur Beterbiev, Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather. Damn, you don't think that was them?
Then, calmly, he named Terence Crawford as the best of them all. He's better than Bernard Hopkins, better than Oscar De La Hoya, better than Trinidad, better than Dmitry Bivol. And then came the shocker. He's better than Floyd Mayweather. Let that sink in. Mayweather is the only man to completely outclass Canelo. And yet, Canelo now claims Crawford is on another level. Is this genuine admiration, or is it all part of a bigger plan? It's not the first time Canelo has used this strategy. Boxing fans might recognize the playbook. It's straight out of Mayweather's own tactics. Build your opponent up, give him status, make the world believe he's unbeatable. So if you beat him, you get the full credit. But there's more. In a clever, silent reaction challenge by The Ring, fighters were asked to remain quiet if they thought their upcoming opponent was better than a past legend. If they disagreed, they had to speak the name of the greater fighter.
Oscar De La Hoya,
Better than Canelo.
Manny Pacquiao, Dmitry Bivol,
Better than Canelo.
Artur Beterbiev, Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Better than Canelo.
When Crawford was asked if Canelo is better than Manny Pacquiao, he stayed silent, meaning yes, he believes Canelo is greater. But when asked if Canelo is better than Oscar De La Hoya, Crawford spoke up. Oscar, he said, subtly signaling he doesn't believe Canelo is the best he's faced. Now flip the camera. Canelo was asked the same about several legends. Hopkins, Pacquiao, Bivol, Floyd Mayweather. He said nothing, not a word. Canelo believes, or wants us to believe, that Crawford is better than all of them. And whether that's real or just promotional brilliance, one thing is certain. He's not underestimating his opponent. In fact, he may be building him into a myth, a pedestal. So if he knocks him off, the boxing world has to respect it. Stephen A. Smith is backing Crawford to outbox Canelo. Garcia warns he'll get folded like Amir Khan. Bill Haney raises concerns over doping scandals. Crawford silences critics with clean tests and world-class training. Canelo, the reigning super middleweight king, claims Crawford is the best he's ever faced, even better than Mayweather. And now the world is watching. This isn't just a fight. It's the collision of legacies, platforms, and generations. A streaming giant in Netflix, a stadium packed with over 50,000 fans, and two future Hall of Famers fighting for more than belts. They're fighting for history. A viral training clip, a sold-out arena, a shift in boxing's future. Crawford versus Canelo is no longer a what-if. It's happening. It's real. And it could redefine what boxing looks like in the streaming era. If this is the calm before the storm, then September 13th could be the night that boxing is never the same again. Let us know your thoughts in comments below. All right, guys, for the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and actions, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications to never miss out on quality content. And check out our other videos. Until next time, peace out.